What started off as an ordinary day took a darker turn for the teenagers in Seattle who were trying out this new app called Randonautica for some adventure in June 2019. As the teens decided to get out of the house, the app led them to Alki Beach in West Seattle.
Guys, we found a suitcase at the beach.
Gabby, go. I'll hold your stuff.
And what they found was a suitcase. They started joking that maybe it had money, and then one of the girls went to check what was inside. Eventually, what they witnessed and recorded changed their lives forever.
I don't know.
Bro, wait, open it.
We were like, we're gonna find nothing.
Open it.
Sleep.
It stinks, y'all.
Immediately after the suitcase was opened, a harsh smell filled the air, with each member of the group complaining about the strong stench. Along with this, inside the suitcase was yet another bag, and though they couldn't see through it, they had their suspicions on what it could be, with their two guesses being either spoiled food or a body.
Oh! Oh! Okay, so she's calling the police so we can see if it's actually a dead body or it's just food.
According to later reports, their second guess turned out to be correct. It was human remains inside the suitcase, stinking all the way.
What started as a fun adventure ended with a very grisly discovery. Some teens who were using a TikTok app that randomly generates a nearby location to explore got to the location.
As the news hit the mainstream media, everyone who was claiming it to be fake or a hoax realized that whatever happened was very real, and the app these kids were using was more disturbing than initially thought. Police discovered that within the suitcase were the remains of an unidentified victim. A victim who had been cut up into pieces, put inside multiple bags, and thrown into the water, with search teams eventually finding other bags in the area that included human remains. As of now, it's not currently confirmed whether these remains are all from the same person or from multiple others, but it seems that the assumption as of now is that this is just one victim.
Another bag of human remains was found floating in the ocean nearby.
Apparently, the app uses number generators to give the user a random set of coordinates so they can travel to a brand new spot, which is always somewhere near their current location. Randonautica users often report strange synchronicities between their intentions and what they find. Someone might set an intention for red and end up at a spot where red objects are scattered everywhere. But things get darker when users set intentions like demise, fear, or something creepy.
Just go to this f***ing quantum point and this whole f***ing person is Sky. Oh my god. Bitch, I can't. What if the person shows up in my rear view camera? No.
But it was not just the findings that make Randonautica unsettling. It was the sense that something, or someone, was aware of the user's journey. People reported feeling watched or encountering strangers in desolate areas. Some claimed to hear whispers or see shadowy figures lurking nearby. One user recorded their adventure in a remote forest at night, and the girl who went out to check came back and said this.
No, because I heard Natalie saying Jamie even when the windows were locked.
No, I didn't say anything.
You didn't say Jamie?
No.
There were also eerie cases of users being led to locations that seemed to tap into their personal fears.
So we decided to play Randonautica, and it took us to this random detention center. It's just kind of a dead end back here, and immediately it rerouted us, and she got a text from a random ass number that said, "Are you real?"
Many users had speculated that Randonautica tapped into the user's subconscious, somehow pulling their fears, thoughts, and desires into the experience. others believed the app used some kind of hidden algorithm to create these seemingly impossible coincidences. Randonautica's creators insist that the app is about exploration, curiosity, and seeing the world differently. But even they acknowledge that users should be cautious.
The tool, but as the Randonauts, you guys are testing what we call mind-matter interaction to see, can my mind have an influence on the world around me?
The randomness of the locations meant users could end up anywhere. Dangerous neighborhoods, private property, or places that hid something sinister. The line between a fun adventure and a real-life nightmare was razor thin with Randonautica. In mid-2020, a series named The Walten Files graced the internet. While it's filled with lovable characters and a nostalgic atmosphere, the story behind it is much darker than it seems. The Walten Files, a show birthed on April 26, 2020, by an online creator named Martin Walls, is inspired by the hit indie classic Five Nights at Freddy's and combined with a clear love for analog horror storytelling. Walls crafted an insanely engrossing narrative surrounding 4 animatronics that were assembled for a burger restaurant named Bond's Burgers. The narrative of the Walten Files revolves around the now extinct Bunny Smiles. The establishment was meant to be a fun, family entertainment venue, much like Chuck Cheese, with animatronic characters entertaining children. But from the very first episode, something is deeply wrong. An unspecified incident in 1974 causes it to be condemned, and a legacy of horrific, possibly supernatural, terrors spin off from the restaurant in question. This time, Bond's Burgers, which is said to have operated in 1974 in Brighton, Michigan. The Hook, a troupe of robotic mascot characters called the Showstoppers, which includes our title character, Bon Bunny, Boo Zoo, the ringmaster Shaw the Sheep, Billy the Clown, and Banny the Other Rabbit, because redundant so far. The canon storyline is spread out across 3 main uploads made by a person named Anthony, titled Introductory Tape, Relocate Project, and Bunny Farm. As the story starts, viewers begin to come up with theories and assumptions, some even saying that the tapes hide a gruesome truth. People have gone missing, and their souls may be trapped inside the animatronics. One of the most disturbing aspects of the Walten Files is its use of distorted, glitchy footage. The videos frequently shift from cheerful, colorful animation to dark, grainy clips, making it a very unsettling experience overall. The series cleverly uses audio distortion to add to the horror. In one video, a cheerful song plays over footage of the animatronics, but the song slowly warps, the lyrics becoming hard to understand. In the background, faint screams and whispers can be heard, hinting at the horrors hidden behind the scenes. Characters like Jack Walton, the founder of Bond's Burgers, and Sophie, his daughter, become central to the mystery. As the tapes progress, it becomes clear that Jack disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Sophie, too, seems to be linked to the dark events, but her memories are fragmented and unclear. The horror in the Walten Files comes not from jump scares, but from the slow, creeping realization of what happened to these characters. And then, in a distorted segment, her eyes seem to follow the viewer, and a voice whispers, "She's been here for so long." The implication is that a human soul is trapped within the metal and wires, suffering eternally. And that encompasses the entirety of the Walten Files. Dark, complex, disturbing. The fragmented nature of the tapes, the cryptic messages, and the unsettling imagery all work together to create a sense of dread and curiosity. It's a horror story that doesn't hand you all the answers, but makes you feel the weight of its mystery. If you've been on the internet in the last decade, you might remember a specific figure, a mannequin-like woman who was featured in a lot of disturbing top 10 lists in the early days of YouTube. What it actually was, though, was a fictional character created by artist and filmmaker Eric Fournier. Shaye somehow became a symbol of surreal horror. In the early 2000s, he created a character named Shaye Saint John, whose tragic backstory is as follows. Former model Shaye lost both her arms and legs and spent several months in the hospital after being hit by a train. So, instead of recovering, she rebuilt herself with mannequin parts. Her face is a smooth plastic mask with exaggerated painted-on makeup, and her body is a patchwork of disjointed mannequin limbs.
And her doll, Kiki.
Eric began creating and uploading these videos to a website called LiveJournal. Founded in 1999, LiveJournal is a Russian social networking website where users blog about anything they want. Plus, all of the videos were intentionally low budget, with glitchy editing, abrupt sounds, and chaotic dialogue that made viewers feel like they were experiencing a fever dream.
Who was featured in a lot of disturbing top 10s in the early days of YouTube.
Then, there was the fact that Eric liked to call his videos triggers, not just videos. Probably because they were designed to evoke intense, sometimes involuntary, emotional reactions from the viewer, which they did. Out of a couple of videos he posted, the most popular one, which most of you are probably familiar with, is called Hand Thing.
Shaye, are you still doing that hand thing? I heard you're doing the hand thing today. God, what is that? Shaye, what is it?
There are several other, such as Oh My God, Lala, and Street Walking. In addition to strange YouTube videos, Shaye Saint John also has a website called shayston.net. The website is very poorly put together, but vast, with lots to explore. A lot of it is just extremely random. But Shaye Saint John is more than just surreal horror. There's an undercurrent of tragedy in the character. Behind the creepy mannequin mask, there's a hint of someone broken, trying desperately to piece themselves back together, physically and mentally. This combination of absurdity, horror, and sadness is what makes Shaye so unnerving.
What do you think? Because of my condition.
The meaning and message that thing is trying to show off may be so much more important than people make it seem like. The 1980 arcade game Berserk might seem like an innocent piece of nostalgia at first glance. It was one of the first games to feature synthesized speech, with robotic voices shouting phrases like, Intruder Alert, and The Humanoid Must Not Escape.
Intruder saw humanoid must not escape.
The game itself was simple. Players controlled a green stick figure trying to escape maze-like rooms filled with hostile robots. But Berserk is no ordinary arcade game. It carries a chilling legacy. It has been widely regarded as a cursed game, selectively eliminating players who came into contact with the game's primary antagonist, a character by the name of Evil Otto.
Intruder alert, intruder alert. Get saw intruder. Saw intruder must not escape.
The first incident happened in April 1982. A teenager named Jeff Daly, just 19 years old, played Berserk at a local arcade. He managed to achieve a high score of 16,660 points. But moments after entering his initials on the leaderboard, Jeff collapsed. But the story didn't end there. Just a year later, in October 1983, another teenager, Peter Bukowski, also 19, played Berserk at an arcade in Calumet City, Illinois. He too achieved a high score and then dropped lifeless from a heart attack. 2 heart attacks linked to the same game? It was enough to spark wild speculation and fear. Rumors spread that Berserk was cursed, or that the game itself was somehow causing these demises. Maybe it was the flashy lights causing some disturbance? But people, just being themselves, began to wonder if something sinister was hiding within the code, like the game itself was alive and hunting down players. Some believed the game was demonic, cursed, or possessed. It didn't help that the game's enemies, cold robotic attackers, seemed to echo this soulless malevolence. If you're unfamiliar with the Mandela Catalogue, well, I would guess that you've been living under a rock, because the series, created by Alex Kister, is one of the most well-loved horror projects on YouTube today.
These intelligent life forms utilize elements of psychological warfare to take advantage of their victims.
It explores the concept of alternates, sinister entities that mimic humans to take their place. The series presents its horror through found footage, analog horror aesthetics, and distorted PSAs that reveal an alternate version of reality, one where these entities infiltrate human lives. The first volume introduces the premise through a public service announcement. PSA: the audience learns about alternates, beings that replace humans by adopting their likeness. The PSA warns people to avoid looking directly at alternates and to contact authorities if they encounter one. A chilling revelation follows. If you see an alternate, survival is unlikely. The PSA instructs people to know their place in reality. The character Mark Heathcliff is introduced through a series of recordings. He experiences disturbing phenomena in his home. Mark documents noises, shadows, and the sense that someone or something is inside his house. As his paranoia increases, Mark's recordings reveal a psychological breakdown.
But me and Mark.
And then Mark just disappeared. His fate remained ambiguous, but the sense of dread comes from not knowing if Mark's perceptions were real or if he was trapped by his own mind. The alternates are not just physical threats. They are psychological predators. They manipulate their victims' fears and insecurities. In the Mandela Catalogue, a simple glance at an alternate can lead to existential dread and madness. Then came Volume 2. This volume introduces a corrupted version of the Archangel Gabriel. In this twisted reality, Gabriel is responsible for the creation of alternates.
Why do you defy me? I know all. I see all. I know what you did.
The unholy version of the Archangel Gabriel represents a betrayal of divine trust. This inversion of religious themes makes the horror feel existential. If sacred figures can be corrupted, what hope is there for humanity, right? Thus, in the Mandela Catalogue, the threat is not just physical demise. It is the erasure of identity and reality. Candle Cove is one of those eerie internet stories that seems simple at first, but gets more disturbing the deeper you go. It all started with a thread where users were chatting about an old children's TV show they remembered from the 1970s.
Oh no! Laughing stock! That's one whale of a storm!
At first, it sounds like regular nostalgia. People swapping memories about a weird, low-budget puppet show. But the more they remember, the stranger it gets. What begins as a harmless trip down memory lane quickly turns into something that makes you question reality. One memory stands out. The puppets just staring at the camera silently for several minutes while unsettling music plays. That doesn't sound like something meant for kids. And then there was the time when the puppets would just scream. As you explore more of these Candle Cove videos on YouTube, you might stumble upon disturbing edits or clips with sudden jump scares, cryptic whispers, or eerie background noises. What makes Candle Cove even creepier is the idea that, according to some versions of the story, kids who claim to be watching the show were actually staring at TV static. Parents would walk in and find their children watching a blank screen while insisting that they were enjoying an episode. The idea that something so creepy could be lurking in a seemingly innocent children's show taps into a deep fear, the corruption of childhood innocence. It's no wonder that Candle Cove has sparked so many interpretations, conspiracies, and eerie recreations online. Whether it's just a creepypasta or something more sinister hiding in plain sight, the unsettling nature of Candle Cove lingers with you, making you question what you really saw on your TV as a kid. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out. This video, captured by a kayaker, thrusts us into a startling scenario I know no one would want to be in. The kayaker, isolated in the vastness of the ocean, finds themselves in a heart-pounding situation. The water's surface, once a picture of calm, now betrays the movement of something immense lurking below. The suspense is palpable, as viewers can only imagine the size and nature of the creature causing such a disturbance. With my thalassophobia, I could never go into such deep waters with my kayak. But the video left me wondering, what could cause such a wave? An eerie setting becomes the backdrop for a chilling video that's bound to leave a lasting impression on anyone who dares to watch. The drone glides silently, its camera capturing the solemn tranquility of the cemetery below. Then, something unexpected and unsettling enters the frame. Beside one of the graves, a shadowy presence becomes apparent. It's not just any shadow. This one is unique. It appears as a translucent figure, a specter that moves with an otherworldly grace. This ghostly apparition doesn't seem bound by the laws of the physical world, and its presence in such a sacred and solemn place amplifies the eerie atmosphere. The sight of this shadowy figure, captured so clearly yet so mysteriously by the drone, sends me shivers down the spine. Our forests hold mysteries and fascinations beyond our comprehension, and sometimes humans stumble upon things that boggle the mind. In this video, a hiker makes a confusing discovery, a strange-looking creature in the heart of the forest at night. At first glance, it resembled a bobcat, but upon closer inspection, the creature's weird features became apparent. Though it had bobcat-like ears, its face was unusually wide, and the gap between its eyes raised eyebrows. What truly sends shivers down my spine is the creature's intense stare at the hiker. The eyes exude an eerie, almost evil quality, leaving a chilling impression that its intentions might not be as innocent as they seem. Ever heard the advice to climb to a high place if you encounter a bear? Well, this video might make you think twice. Recorded by villagers, the footage unfolds with a group of men standing on the roof of a house, looking visibly frightened. One of them is wielding a long piece of log, presumably to fend off an approaching threat. Suddenly, the cause of their fear enters the frame. A hefty bear. The bear, determined and unfazed, climbs on the wheat stacks and uses them as a makeshift ladder to reach the roof. Witnessing this, panic ensues, and everyone starts sprinting for their lives. The bear, seemingly irritated or agitated, picks a target and chases them off the roof. Despite the tense situation, some villagers appear to be smiling, suggesting they may have experience dealing with such bear encounters and knew how to handle the situation. In this video, we're taken on a late-night drive through a forest, seen from the perspective of a passenger filming the journey. Everything changes when they have to slam on the brakes. Right there, in the middle of the road, is something you'd never expect. A strange figure that looks human, standing still, cloaked in black from head to toe. The driver tries everything to get it to move. He honks the horn, shouts, and even inches the car closer. But this cloaked figure just won't budge. It's like it doesn't even notice them. Finally, deciding enough is enough, the driver steps out of the car, determined to confront this mysterious roadblock. But here's where it gets really weird. When he reaches out and pulls the cloak away, there's nothing there. No person, no object, nothing that could explain how this cloak was standing upright in a perfectly human shape. It's as if they've encountered a ghost or some kind of invisible force. To me, this is seriously spooky stuff. How does a cloak stand in the middle of the road like it's wrapped around someone? But when you check, there's nothing there. In this fascinating video, a man is seen interacting with a freshly captured, still alive piranha. Holding the fish securely in his hand, he decides to test the famed cutting ability of its teeth. He takes a stick and inserts it into the piranha's mouth, curious to see if the small but notorious fish can indeed slice through it. Remarkably, each time the stick is placed in the mouth, the fish quickly cuts it, demonstrating the incredible strength and sharpness of its teeth. This experiment is repeated multiple times, consistently cutting through the stick effortlessly. It's a clear demonstration of the power packed into the jaws of such a small creature. Watching this, I'm struck by the sheer adaptability and specialized traits that evolution has bestowed upon creatures. If you've ever been in a house that is creepy after dark, and you are alone, you will understand what this young woman is going through. After a move to Ohio, she begins experiencing what can only be described as a kind of haunting or visitation by an unknown and deeply disturbing entity.
Puzzle I'm working on. Maybe when I'm done with it, I can send you this. Mom, I gotta go.
There are a few interesting things about what we've just watched. There is a general sense of unease emanating from the young woman before we even hear the loud thump. She keeps glancing in the direction of somewhere off camera, and she almost swallows her word when showing off her puzzle. She seems nervous right off the bat and is trying hard to keep upbeat for her mother. The next video provides clear evidence that while she might think she's alone in the house, she's not.
There's the oven. It's kind of whack, but I put the nice towel that you sent me. Thank you.
As we just saw, she resumes the conversation, trying to keep a facade that everything is okay. She has moved to another room, perhaps somewhere she feels safer. The old oven seems to suggest that the house is slightly older, which adds to the creepiness of what follows. The story escalated quickly, as does the young woman's composure. She is no longer trying to put on a brave face. She is distraught as the house is bathed in darkness. Terrified, she lets on that it's back, which suggests that this is not the first time something like this has happened.
I think it's back.
The terrifying climax appears at the end, with a shadowy figure only made visible by two glowing eyes. The story ends with the return of a thumping sound, which we now know is whatever that entity is, knocking on the front door. She pleads with it to no avail as it continues to stand and stare at her like a psychopath. Whether truth or fiction, it makes for a frightening scenario. Two men returning to what appears to be a deserted and isolated house at night. It is unclear if the home is theirs, possibly abandoned due to what follows, or merely a site of strange activity. Either way, their behavior is odd. Pulling up, one of them focuses his flashlight at the windows. Pay close attention, or you just might miss it.
Holy what? Go.
Most towns have one. Creepy, deserted old house that has given way to neglect. Perhaps the owners grew old and died. Perhaps something terrible happened there. This is one of those houses. Note the tall grass out front. The air of abandonment. And then, so quick, you almost miss it. The figure of a small boy standing in the doorway. Why is he there? What nightmare unfolded behind those walls? Why is he trapped, unable to leave? The men seem to know that the house has a reputation. They do not get out of the car. Even when it is clear the figure is the height of a child, they do not stop to investigate. Instead, they speed off into the night, leaving us to wonder what really happened there. Watch again in the zoomed-in footage. Illinois. Zoomed in and surprisingly clear footage captures something utterly terrifying amongst the trees. At first sight it is barely detectable, but then a figure emerges. A hulking bipedal creature stands almost as tall as the trees in the snow-covered landscape. Spotted, it begins to move. Is this a hoax or further compelling evidence to suggest that Bigfoot really exists? The scale of the creature positioned amongst the trees and the confident manner it moves in this snowy wilderness suggests that this is its home. The overall shape of the creature and the almost conical head add to the case for this being real. On being discovered, it vanishes into the trees. Chilling at home alone shouldn't be this stressful. Watch what happens in this unsuspecting encounter that really is too close for comfort.
I'm home alone, right? But
A ghostly reflection of what looks like a woman with long dark hair or something pulled over its head appears alongside the poster of the video. Shot in a seemingly continuous point of view, the image is quite terrifying, but her response to the moment is anything but. Perhaps I'd be more convinced if she wasn't so calm to her invisible flatmate. Her demeanor does little to suggest shock or horror. Does the poster just have nerves of steel? Or is it a hoax born of some editing? You be the judge. We see a lot of poor footage of Bigfoot online, which makes the videos we're showing in this episode something of an exception. This one, although zoomed in, seems to capture the creature in fairly close proximity. Pay attention to the movement of this Bigfoot. It has a somewhat different gait to others we've seen. Could this relaxed stride be due to the fact that the creature is unaware that it has been discovered? Or is that the most epic Halloween costume? On Trail Terror, we feature a number of clips of animals in their natural habitat, particularly deer and elk during rutting season. These animals display a diverse number of vocalizations that serve to not only attract mates, but warn others of danger. A Texas police officer stops at a rest stop and records the following sound emanating from the woods beyond. Is initially noticeable is the sheer volume of the bellow. It feels almost otherworldly. Could this be the call of a really large stag or elk? Or as this police officer suggests, the cry of Bigfoot? This startling footage claims to capture the face of Bigfoot. The likeness to human features is incredibly disturbing, but the more you look at the sheer size of its head and the somewhat large gap between its round eyes, these features resemble something less human. Here, the creature seems relaxed and even curious as it glances in the direction of the camera. It knows it's being watched, but in turn it is watching. In other videos, Bigfoot hunters claim that these creatures often have one member who serves as a lookout to protect its family. We have showed earlier videos on this channel where similar close-ups of Bigfoot's face have been captured, but the picture quality has not been as clear. This face confirms the face captured in other sightings, supplying a compelling case for its existence. This mesmerizing and rare footage captures a close-up human encounter with a mountain lion. Watch as the poster and his family come across the calm cat on their walk. Fortunately, the kitty isn't in the mood to rip their faces off. In most eventualities, mountain lion attacks on humans are not that common. If they wanted to hunt us, they would. Having said that, never play submissive to a cougar if you wish to survive. The glorious creature remains relaxed and still as the humans admire her beauty. This video comes from Aiguille du Midi and captures a heart-stopping moment during a mountain climb. In the footage recorded on a climber's GoPro camera, we see a group of professional climbers embarking on a climb up the Aiguille du Midi mountain. They appear well equipped with climbing gear and seem experienced. As one of the hikers reaches the cameraman, he pauses to relay something to the camera before taking his next step. Suddenly, he slips and begins sliding down the icy track. It's a breathtaking moment, as even a split-second delay, or a failure to secure a grip, could have led to a disastrous fall down the mountain. The narrow and treacherous path they're navigating down looks incredibly daunting. After witnessing such a close call, it's understandable why some might opt to steer clear of hiking adventures. Do you believe in miracles? If you're like me and you don't, then this video might make you reconsider. Recorded in a forest, this video showcases a truly unusual sight. A water fountain emerging from a tree trunk. The water pressure is surprisingly high, and it seems to flow endlessly from the tree. Many viewers who already saw this video find this scene confusing, with some even considering it a miracle or something paranormal. However, I believe there's a logical explanation for this phenomenon. I've read somewhere that when you cut a tree after it has absorbed recent rain, it can release water. But I must admit, this fountain-like display is quite extraordinary. There could be a hidden source of water, such as a pipe concealed behind the tree by the person filming the video. Even if the video turns out to be fabricated and fake, I must commend the creator for making it incredibly convincing. Glowing white eyes in the dead of night. From out of the darkness can barely be seen a shape, a moving creature. It is rumored to be the Australian Yowie. Some individuals believe that Yowies could be the Australian equivalent of Bigfoot, although there are different accounts regarding the creature. It is believed that this creature inhabits the outback and other remote areas of Australia. Opinions on the creature's behavior vary, with some describing it as timid or shy, while others claim it to be violent and aggressive. I think it is safe to say that whatever this creature is, it is a terrifying one we would all want to avoid meeting in the forest. With its large forehead, we can almost imagine it to be a gorilla of sorts. Its movements are rapid and jerky. It seems to be hiding, but from what? Does it know it is being watched from this trail camera? These homeowners heard some strange sounds outside their home, and they started recording the outside, and what they saw was terrifying, as the owner started calling someone on his phone. Deep within the darkness, something seems to be moving. The creature remains still to begin with, hiding in the distance and watching. It then moves over to the side slightly and comes closer to the camera. I can't be sure if there is a time lapse on this video, but it seems that the frightening humanoid figure materializes ever closer. The figure is white and large, a skinwalker perhaps. If such a thing does indeed exist, I would imagine it to look just like this. You can hear the desperation in Richard's voice as he tries to convince his friend of what he is seeing.
It's like 35 feet away, and it came out of those weeds. You know what I'm talking about?
At one point, the being looks almost ape-like, until it stands straight again, and then it clearly is not. The creature is very well aware that Richard is there, and it watches him. Richard says something like, "It came back."
Oh my God, there it is, Mike. It came back. Oh my gosh.
Making us understand that this is not the first time he is visited by this. We can only hope that Richard's friend eventually believed him and came to his rescue. This driver caught a strange sight in the middle of the road and had to film it. A strange-looking predator carrying away its slain prey. The only thing really clear in this video is the fact that whatever the animal is walking away, it is carrying the head of a zebra. Where does the rest of the prey lie, we wonder? It is half bush pig, half buck of some kind, a deviant of nature, an amalgamation of beings that hides in the night. I am not quite sure what this creature is. Unfortunately, just as we see the profile of the animal, it disappears into the bush. But I think I've been watching this video too many times. The animal's bottom almost seems pixelated as it trots casually away, which makes me wonder whether the footage has been edited. The animal is indeed casual. It does not seem perturbed that there is a vehicle with bright lights following closely behind it. There is no sense of urgency. This in itself is strange and somewhat unnerving. This video starts innocently enough with a few guys filming something odd in the distance. The one filming makes reference to black dots, but their attention, and ours, is very soon diverted to the large human scaling the forest edge. We hear the cameraman's exclamation that it is a skinwalker.
Dude, that was a skinwalker, what? Follow him. I videoed it.
Within Navajo culture, a skinwalker is characterized as a malevolent witch capable of transforming into, possessing, or camouflaging themselves as an animal. I was under the assumption, however, that skinwalkers ever only came out at night. This is in broad daylight. I'm really not sure what to make of it. The creature is huge, almost reaching the tops of the trees. Unfortunately, it isn't long before the guys lost the creature, so we can't be sure what it was that we saw. This lady has found one of the strangest looking creatures. At first it does look like some sort of a abnormal rat, crawling without any limbs. However, as strange and alien as these creatures are, there's actually a logical explanation. This bizarre creature is called the rat-tailed maggot. So it is not a rat, but rather a maggot. It is the larval or immature stage of a fly. These whitish larvae measure around 3 to 4 inches in length and possess a distinctive feature, an elongated tail of approximately 1 to 2 inches in length. This tail serves as a breathing tube for the maggots when they are submerged in water. As they reach maturity, the maggots become a nuisance by crawling away from their breeding site in search of a dry location where they can undergo metamorphosis and transition into the adult stage. As creepy as they look, they are completely harmless, so the lady in this video was in no danger. This guy was walking around in a forest, filming as he was doing his stroll, but when looking back at his footage, he found something strange caught on camera. Right at the end of this footage, the camera caught the sight of a strange lizard-like creature which can be seen emerging from a tree stump. The cameraman obviously did notice, as we can see how he freaked. It is indeed a frightening sight to see while walking all alone in a forest. But honestly, I think that rather than a mysterious creature, it is more likely a type of lizard. But even that would be hoping for too much. There is so much driftwood and debris out in the forest that it is quite easily just a strange shaped piece of wood. There are strange creatures among us, for sure. This isn't one of them. These remarkable images, captured by a trail camera deep in the forests of Oregon, have ignited a wave of speculation and wonder. From the very first glance, it becomes apparent that we may be in the presence of the legendary and elusive creature known as Bigfoot. The figure, towering amidst the trees, exhibits distinct humanoid characteristics, captivating the imagination with its enigmatic presence. However, it is the additional element that truly adds an extra layer of intrigue to this already fascinating encounter. Upon closer examination, an unexpected revelation unfolds. Nestled securely on the back of the majestic Bigfoot, a smaller figure becomes visible. This diminutive companion, seemingly a baby, clings tenaciously to its larger counterpart, gripping onto the strands of hair. The resemblance between the two is striking, suggesting a kinship. The notion that these awe-inspiring beings may indeed be a Bigfoot and its offspring opens up a world of possibilities. Could these elusive creatures possess complex familial structures and social dynamics? Do they, like humans and other mammals, exhibit maternal instincts and nurture their young? The presence of the baby Bigfoot lends further credence to the existence of an entire species. Could this remarkable trail camera footage be the key that unlocks the secrets surrounding Bigfoot's elusive nature? We can see someone filming some sort of animal in a ditch that is approaching. The person filming is backing as the creature is approaching. At first glance, one might be inclined to believe that the approaching creature is a bear cub, given its initial size and the cautious retreat of the person behind the camera. However, as the lens focuses and the animal turns to reveal its profile, we quickly see that this is not the case. The creature possesses a unique amalgamation of features: a sizable head, a compact body adorned with a dense coat of hair, and short limbs that convey an uncanny fusion of monkey-like attributes with those reminiscent of a rat. Its distinct form is enough to elicit both fascination and trepidation. leaving us to question the very nature of its existence. As the scene unfolds, our attention is drawn to the creature's behavior. It exhibits a mixture of curiosity and caution, a primal instinct driving it to explore its surroundings while remaining wary of the human presence. We witness its repeated attempts to scale the grassy wall beside the ditch, an endeavor that suggests a desire to evade potential danger or seek refuge in the elevated terrain. The intensity of the encounter heightens as the creature persists in its approach towards the person filming. What drives it to venture towards the human observer? Is it driven by curiosity, a quest for food, or perhaps an unknown instinctual desire for connection? However, just as the anticipation reaches its peak, the video abruptly ends, leaving us yearning for more. What exactly was this enigmatic creature that crossed paths with the intrepid filmmaker? In a video captured by a trail camera into the forest, as the snow gently descends, painting the landscape in shades of white and gray, the camera records a captivating scene. The subject of the footage is a large, black furry creature moving with purpose behind the trees. Its appearance and movement suggest a figure straight out of folklore, reminiscent of Bigfoot, a creature that has long inhabited the space between myth and possibility in the minds of many. Due to the distance and the limitations of the trail camera, the details of the creature's features remain indistinct, making me wonder, is that really Bigfoot, or could it be someone playing a prank on us? I am saying this because in the few frames we get of its body and arms, the arms seem very short, human-like. And as far as my Bigfoot knowledge goes, their arms are supposed to be way longer to their body proportion compared to us. In this video, we find a man running into a forest. The shaky, blurry nature of the video, caused by the rapid movement and possibly the filmer's heightened state of adrenaline, initially obscures the reason behind this frenzied dash through the trees. For a brief moment, the man pauses, allowing the camera to focus on what has spurred his flight, a dark, hairy figure moving stealthily behind the veil of the forest foliage. The glimpse is fleeting and details are scant, leaving viewers in suspense, questioning what they've just seen. The chase resumes, with the sound of hurried footsteps and the man's heavy breathing dominating the soundtrack of this impromptu forest thriller. It's not until the next pause in his escape that the camera finally captures a clearer image of the pursuer. Emerging from behind the trees is a tall, bipedal, black, and profoundly hairy creature, moving with an eerie deliberateness. Its appearance for those fleeting seconds is strikingly reminiscent of the legendary Bigfoot. This video leaves me with many questions. What was that creature, and why was it moving so fast that the man had to run just to catch a glimpse of it? What is hiding out there into the forest? We all know plants are alive, but have you ever seen one take a walk? A branch with leaves is moving and grooving. It scoots across the pavement like it has tiny feet. At first, you might think it's some sneaky leaf bugs in disguise. But zoom in closer, and it's clear. These are real leaves, firmly attached to the branch. The most puzzling part? Other leaves are scattered around, perfectly still. So what's making this one take a stroll? Is it magic? A mischievous wind spirit? The answer might be simpler. Wind could be playing tricks, pushing the branch in a way that makes it look like it's walking. But hey, that doesn't stop the mystery. Ever seen a bird that looks like it came straight out of hell? There's a weird video going crazy on TikTok. It shows a strange bird people are calling the opium bird. They say it's the first one ever seen in Antarctica. In the video, the bird looks totally out of place. It's big and covered in white fur, with a long beak and eyes that seem empty. The whole thing is just kinda creepy, and it just sits there. But hold on, this bird might not be all it seemed. The video actually has 3 clips showing different opium birds, and all of them have something red dripping from their beaks. Plus, the whole look of the bird seems a bit unreal. Turns out, this whole thing was a trick. The opium bird isn't real. It was created using special effects computers. So while the video might make you jump at first, there's no need to worry about a monster bird hanging out in Antarctica. Imagine you're looking out your window, and in the house across the street, you see this.
Tap it on the window out there.
Yeah.
Top window.
Yeah.
This video from California has viewers on the edge of their seats. The clip, filmed by a neighbor, captures a sight straight out of a spooky movie. It shows what appears to be an empty house across the street. A strange humanoid shadow darts across an upstairs window in an unnaturally swift motion. The figure then vanishes, only to reappear moments later in a downstairs window, seemingly staring directly at the camera. Needless to say, this was a really scary and bizarre sight. However, this encounter has sparked a debate. Is it a genuine paranormal experience, or something more down to earth? While the video is unsettling, I believe it could be a clever prank. A cardboard cutout figure, strategically placed and moved between windows, could explain the swift movements and reappearance. This man took his kids out for a nice day in the woods, but what he did not know was that their day was about to turn from good to worse in a second. As he watches and records his kids playing, he starts noticing something weird. There weren't just his 2 kids, but someone else too. As the creepy short creature with a big head moves towards the children, not just the dad, but the kids also get scared, so they run towards their father who keeps shouting at them. The video lasted for a few seconds, but that must be the most terrifying seconds of the guy's life for sure. Was it an alien? A ghost? For me, it looks like some kind of a prank as well, but still nothing could be said for sure. This video was recorded by a man who kept hearing weird sounds from an abandoned building near to where he lived. So one night, he decided to go check what was happening and see if there was anyone there. But what he did not know was that he was about to witness a very dangerous situation. As he moves towards the building with a flashlight on, a figure appears inside the building behind the wall. What looked like a tall, dark, human-like figure with glowing eyes stared straight at the man. I don't know about you, but at this point, I would close the recording and head back home immediately. But instead, this man followed the figure. Once inside, we can clearly see that there is no one. Where did the figure go? Was it a ghost or just a guy playing pranks on others? Honestly, looking at those scary eyes, it did not look like a normal human being to me. However, the conclusion is still yours to make. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. In a video shared by a seashell collector during a routine beachcombing adventure, something rare and peculiar was discovered. The collector, equipped with gripping tools, spotted an unusual object protruding from the sandy surface. With careful effort, he extracted the mysterious find, revealing a strange alien-like creature. To the collector's surprise, this creature had an unsettling lower side and a circular mouth surrounded by tentacles. Some viewers suggested it might be a trilobite, an extinct species of marine arthropods. However, trilobites are believed to have disappeared around 250 million years ago, making it highly improbable for the creature to be one of them. It could be something resembling a trilobite, or perhaps a prop designed to mimic it. Regardless, the discovery is both fascinating and a bit disconcerting, considering these creatures may be living hidden on beaches in such a peculiar manner. On Facebook, a user shared a video claiming to capture an eerie encounter with a strange-looking man wandering the streets in the middle of the night. In the video, The uploader describes how the mysterious figure is just standing beneath a sign, doing nothing.
There was somebody walking in that distance. It looks really, really sketchy.
The man recording is in a car, and as he begins to drive, the strange man mysteriously disappears from the spot.
Where did they go? I don't know where they went.
Confused and now genuinely scared, the driver spots the strange man again. But this time, he is standing on the side of the road. Growing increasingly worried, the driver cautiously passes by the strange man, who maintains a fixed stare. Suddenly, the creepy man jumps onto the car, prompting the driver to speed away. Upon freezing the frame for a closer look, the video reveals the eerie features of the man. Wide eyebrows, large alien-like eyes, and an exceptionally broad nose. To me, it was a truly frightening encounter. And I think it was the driver's quick reaction that likely prevented a more unsettling situation.
Oh, what the f***? Oh, what the f***?
If you happen to own a Tesla, you're probably familiar with its self-driving mode, a nifty driving assistant that alerts you about approaching cars and pedestrians. But what if it started detecting spirits and ghosts? In this video, a Tesla owner shares a peculiar experience while driving at night. In the video, confusion sets in as the Tesla sensors indicate a person in front of the car. The driver, however, looks ahead and sees no one. Even after using the car's headlights to illuminate the surroundings, there's still no sign of anyone. The logical explanation here is that Tesla relies on a mix of sensors and cameras to identify objects in its path. In this case, it's possible that the camera is interpreting the grass in front as a person, creating a rather strange and ghostly illusion on the Tesla screen. But who knows, maybe there is some strange entity out there, and the car was able to pick its presence. When people mention adopting a pet, we usually think of cats or dogs. However, in Russia there's a unique third option, bears. In a video from Russia, a man is seen hanging out with his enormous pet bear. The bear is impressively large, and the man seems completely at ease sitting beside it. The bear appears to have a friendly relationship with the man, even playfully snatching his hat. The man engages in conversation with the bear as if they're good friends. I've also come across other videos featuring the same bear, including one where they play fetch together. While it's heartwarming to witness, I can't help but wonder about the potential risks if the bear were to become agitated or upset. The sheer size and strength of a bear could pose a serious threat to its owner. This video was shared by a homeowner who, after noticing things missing from his house, decided to install a nanny cam in the living room. The footage captured is both terrifying and unsettling. In the video, we see the living room and a humanoid figure passes by on the left side. Strangely, this figure looks like a family member, but the homeowner insists that no one else was in the living room at that time, only the dog whose ears are just visible on the couch. The dog even turns its head toward the ghostly figure. The mysterious figure is dressed all in white, giving off ghostly vibes. Now that the homeowner has identified the suspect, they are seeking advice on what to do next. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Security cameras are designed to keep us safe, but occasionally, they capture things that make us feel uneasy. In this video, we get a view of a driveway and a street recorded by a home security camera at night. All seems quiet and normal until something peculiar begins to take shape across the road. A humanoid figure materializes and starts crossing the road. As it moves, the figure vanishes into thin air, just like it appeared. This mysterious entity appears transparent, resembling a ghost. However, some viewers have suggested that it might be a camera glitch caused by the glare of light on the camera. This video, which got a lot of attention in 2012, shows a hiker going on an adventure in a snowy forest and catching a rare sight. As the video starts, you see a beautiful scene of a forest covered in snow. However, in the distance, there's a big figure walking around. The creature is hard to see at first, hidden by the thick trees, but towards the end of the video, it comes a bit closer, showing more human-like features. This tall creature, similar to the one mentioned before, is covered in thick black fur and stands in a really human-like way. But there's something annoying about this video that when the creature was almost visible up close, the video ends. However, to me it seems like the hiker might have been surprised by how close the creature was, so they quickly turned off the camera and left in a hurry, thinking their safety is way more important than the footage. Would you have done the same? Do you believe in aliens? Well, if you're not sure, this video might just make you reconsider. It's from a farmer who stumbled upon something intriguing in his farm soil. At first, the creature he discovered seems like a regular worm, but then it does something really surprising. It shoots out a white root-like thing from its front, resembling something you'd see in an alien movie. This root attaches itself to the farmer's hand, and after a few seconds, the creature sucks the white substance back in. To me, it looks like this white substance might be the insides of the worm, and it's as if the worm threw its insides out on the farmer's hand, and then sucked it all back in. It's a truly bizarre sight, and I have no idea if this creature is from our world. If you know anything about it, feel free to share in the comments. Encountering something unknown or strange can be unsettling, but being stalked by it takes fear to a whole new level. In this video from a hiker, we get a glimpse of distant bushes with something lurking within. This mysterious creature keeps peeking its head out, observing and following the cameraman's every move. From its appearance, the creature seems quite humanoid, with an all-white body. When it peeks, we notice it has no hair and lacks typical human features, except for its nose, ears, and eyes. The creature also appears tall, easily peering over the tall bushes. It's genuinely frightening to witness something unknown, especially when you can't identify it at first. Towards the end of the video, the creature reveals itself to the hiker, causing the hiker to startle and quickly bolt away from the scene. This video is from a popular hiker and explorer, showcasing his journey into a forest. While he records himself, there's something large and black trailing behind him in the background. Surprisingly, the hiker seems oblivious to the potential threat and continues to explore casually. After taking a few more steps, the black figure appears again, this time much closer. Up close, it becomes apparent that this creature resembles what people commonly refer to as Bigfoot. Although it's not as large, it's shorter, with a wide body, covered in thick black fur, resembling a peculiar gorilla or ape. One frustrating aspect of the video is that it ends suddenly when the creature is close to the hiker, leaving us in suspense about what happened next. Exploring abandoned houses can lead to some unforgettable experiences, and that's exactly what unfolds in this video. The camera captures a massive house with a creepy, old haunted atmosphere. As the cameraman explores, something catches his attention passing by a second-floor window, sending a shiver down his spine.
Yo, what the f is that? What the f is that?
Moments later, the mysterious figure reappears. Upon slowing down the footage, it becomes apparent that this creature is remarkably tall, only revealing its body covered in what appears to be black fur. Some viewers speculate that it might be a Bigfoot inhabiting the abandoned house, but I doubt it, considering Bigfoots typically prefer secluded, dense woods to hide rather than dwelling in houses. Regardless of what it was, my advice to the explorer is to leave the house undisturbed. After all, it seems someone or something else has already claimed it. Many believe that dogs can perceive things beyond human senses, and this video serves as evidence of that notion. The footage captures a group of dogs barking fervently into the darkness, clearly alarmed by something lurking in the distance. The cameraman then directs our attention to where the dogs are focused, revealing the head of a tall figure standing behind the stairs. This enigmatic figure remains still for a moment, and its towering presence becomes evident. After a while, the figure emerges from behind the stairs, revealing a humanoid, ghost-like creature with a hunched back. Due to the darkness, the details of its appearance remain unclear, but the overall impression is undeniably terrifying. The dog's agitation and fear now seem entirely justified in the face of this eerie presence. Bigfoots have remained a mystery since forever. Again and again, people spotted them in the darkest and deepest places. But there are times when Bigfoots are spotted roaming around in the wild in broad daylight as well. For instance, take this video recorded in 2006 by a man named Harley Hoffman, where a Bigfoot was spotted on cameras as he was recording the area. It was huge and had its whole body covered with black hair. The creature, or the Bigfoot, was going somewhere in quite a hurried manner, and the man had to be safe while getting a proper glimpse of it on camera as well. So even though a small chunk, it shows the creature in the most vivid manner. If we talk about the authenticity of the clip, for me, the way the creature was moving and its appearance give the video a genuine look. What do you think? Night has always held secrets beyond our imaginations. For the curious who wander in the deepest regions just to uncover secrets, sometimes things get way scarier than they had ever imagined. For instance, these guys were out at night for a late drive, enjoying the narrow road between the thick bushes and high trees. However, as they moved forward on the path, they saw a creepy figure that sent shivers down their spine. It looked like a person covered in a brown robe, standing on a corner. It did not move at all as the car passed by it. However, the men in the car were surely shaken by this. Also, if we zoom in, I think I can make up a cross around the figure's neck, which makes now the whole individual to appear as a monk. Could this be the ghost of a monk who lost their life in a violent way around those places? What do you think? Just as I mentioned, people love wandering in the deepest regions and many times come out traumatized. Take these, for example. These people had heard about an abandoned tunnel from the World Wars and knew about the rumors of the tunnel being haunted through the locals. But that did not stop them from leaping into the deep tunnel and wandering around to look for any treasure they were supposed to find there. However, instead of what they were trying to find, they encountered a weird figure. In the tunnel, inches away from them, a human-like figure appeared as if walking away from them, and then disappeared in a moment as well. It looked like a human wearing a white uniform. Could it be the lost soul of a military medic? The men turned back and ran away, and the mystery of the ghost remains the same. Whether it was an altered video or whether they actually captured a ghost is a question which remains unanswered, and I will leave that to you to decide. This clip was recorded by a man who ventured into the forest late at night for a purpose unknown to us. He appeared to be alone and had a string flashlight on. When he couldn't find whatever he came here to look for, he turned the light off, and that's when the scary part began. What he recorded made him question what that thing he saw that night was. It was a weird orange flickering that started happening as soon as the man turned his light off, as if someone was there waiting for the lights to go out to start with its scary ritual. The man couldn't bear what he was seeing for much longer, so he ran as fast as he could back to his car. However, the scene that he had witnessed then was enough to give him nightmares for weeks. Personally, it looked like a pretty scary experience, even if it was a prank or something. A woman was busy recording a detailed video of her neighborhood, trying to capture the church right across her street. What she was trying to capture was a figure which, according to her, roamed around their area. As soon as she moved the camera towards the towering trees, she happened to see the exact figure she was talking about. According to her, the figure appears at the exact same spot every couple of days, but as soon as they try to get closer to it, they see nothing, like it vanishes into the wood. The figure, to me, looked like a man wandering aimlessly, like he is lost. Considering the lady mentions the figure disappears as soon as you get close to it, I would consider it to be a lost soul. What do you think? This clip was recorded by a man who was walking in the middle of the woods like his usual day when he heard branches breaking from a side. Surprised and curious, he turned to look that way, and all he could lay his eyes on was a huge creature walking quickly between the trees. The creature was gigantic, had its body completely covered with hair, had a human-like walk, and looked like it was in quite a hurry. The man, astonished, saw the Bigfoot moving in front of his eyes and couldn't even move an inch until it was gone. This video, according to the man, is more than just footage. It's a warning that we humans need to beware. Skunk Ape is quite famous in the United States, and notably in Florida, among people who are interested in myths and mythical creatures. This is something they had dreamt of witnessing, at least once in their lifetime. And a man actually ended up not just seeing it with his own eyes, but also recording it on his camera. According to the man who uploaded this video, was going around in the woods, following the small signs he could find, and then he started hearing rustling sounds coming from a side. As soon as he moved the camera up, he could clearly see a huge figure busy with something behind the bushes. He recorded it for around 30 to 40 seconds, and all that time the creature wandered around before leaving the area. Are you among those who question the existence of extraterrestrial life, or do you find yourself intrigued by the possibility? The following video, captured in Russia in 2022, might just sway even the most skeptical minds. The footage documents a citywide alarm triggered by the presence of an unidentified flying object in the sky. Initially resembling a plane, a closer inspection reveals it differs significantly from any known aircraft. The object has a bullet-like shape and moves at a remarkably high speed. Strangely, towards the end of the video, the object seemingly vanishes into thin air, giving the impression of teleportation. Witnessing such an event would undoubtedly evoke a sense of fear, considering the blaring sirens and the unusual sight of this unidentified object zipping through the sky, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of doomsday. In this video, a streamer recorded something quite unsettling during their live stream. They were in a forest, and suddenly at a distance, a tall and dark figure passed by. The streamer noticed it and seemed a bit surprised or scared. This figure looked very tall and appeared to be covered in dark fur. Some people think it might be a gorilla or an ape, but its height makes some folks believe it could be the legendary creature known as Bigfoot. This was a historic moment, because it was the first time anyone had ever captured a possible Bigfoot encounter during a live stream in real life. This intriguing video, shared by a villager, has the potential to challenge the beliefs of those skeptical about extraterrestrial life. The footage captures a villager on a late-night patrol near a river close to his house. Armed with a flashlight, he encounters a truly strange and unsettling sight. a motionless, alien-like figure situated along the riverbank. This humanoid creature stands out with its entirely white body. After a period of stillness, the enigmatic figure, seemingly aware of the flashlight's presence, dives into the river, disappearing without a trace. This encounter raises questions and sparks contemplation about the potential existence of unfamiliar beings from other worlds. What are your thoughts on this strange and eerie sighting of a creature that seems to defy our understanding of the known? This video, shared on Reddit by an explorer, documents a nighttime adventure exploring an abandoned residential building. From the beginning, the inside exudes an eerie and unsettling atmosphere. The building, seemingly in a state of construction abandonment, takes on an eerie appearance. As the explorer progresses down a hallway, they are confronted with a startling sight. A hunched figure at the end of the corridor. The figure, resembling a creepy human engaged in some mysterious activity, remains motionless. The explorer zooms in, revealing that this figure is a shirtless individual seated in the corner.
Yo. You need some help, bro? Yo.
Attempts to communicate with the figure go unanswered, prompting the explorer to cautiously leave the building. While it could be a homeless person under the influence of drugs, the possibility of a more disturbing scenario cannot be entirely dismissed. This video, originating from Facebook, was captured by a group of friends who share a passion for exploring caves. The footage unfolds with a view of a cave, illuminated by the glow of flashlights guiding the way. Suddenly, someone or something passes by the distant beams of light of the explorers. In response, they hasten toward the figure, only to find it vanished mysteriously. Despite thorough searching, no one is found in the vicinity. The creature, resembling a humanoid figure with considerable height, prompts thoughts of Bigfoot. However, the idea that Bigfoot resides deep within caves seems unlikely. Adding to the intrigue, the uploader mentions in the description that the cave was originally sealed with branches and stones, and they had to open it for exploration. This revelation raises the possibility that the cave might serve as a dwelling for the mysterious creature, with the explorers unwittingly becoming uninvited guests in its home. For more captivating content like this, click here. Thank you for tuning in.